Okay, you're talking about the some people believing in the expansion and contraction ad infinitum of the universe. That's brought about as yet another fix for the Big Bang cosmology, where you simply can't have everything coming from nothing. I mean, that is the most blatant violation of the first law of thermodynamics that there is. Which is the conservation of energy, and that's the one way around it. Is well, it didn't come from nothing. It came from this from a tiny little spatial dot that's just been expanding, over and over and over again. So therefore, it didn't really have a beginning, and so there's so many problems associated with the Big Bang itself, and the idea that it came from nothing, which is, or at least a mathematical singularity, which is still something. There's so many problems with having everything begin from nothing, which is why religious people even have a theology even has a place in physics, is because of this beginning problem, which is a problem for the Big Bang theory, and it should have been abandoned a long time ago. It really should have, and the mounting evidence against it. Anyway, I'll save maybe that rant for another video. I'll just continue watching it here. It's just a point I wanted to make about the trying to avoid the first law of thermodynamics by postulating this breathing universe. I think that's been called, or well, I'll just coin the phrase right there. They call that the breathing Big Bang cosmology. Done. Okay, I'd just like to make a comment about again, you're referring to most scientists, most cosmologists now believe this, and most, like I said, it doesn't really mean anything. Most people can be wrong. You know what I mean? Well, just my example is look at most religious people and why they believe what they believe in. They're wrong to believe in that on faith alone, without even scrutinizing any part of it, or refusing to use reason to scrutinize that belief. Most people, most Christians are like that. Does that mean that most Christians don't use reason to scrutinize their faith? But I mean, it means nothing. Saying most cosmologists now believe, since 2001, that in cosmological expansion, or acceleration, sorry, it doesn't mean that it's right. Simple as that. I mean, it gets down to the question of where did the redshift come from, which is the question they're avoiding in that data and other experiments and observed galaxies, and that's a whole other thing again. I'm very prone to getting off track, so I'll try and keep it short little comments like that. Sorry. Okay, just watch the ending comments of your first video, and well, all the objections to the first causation thing, maybe you could say, didn't hold philosophical muster, but point 2 and point 3 really have nothing to do with philosophy at all. They're more physics, and the objections, as I've just pointed out, to the second law of thermodynamics problem that you cropped up, well, I would hate to get into the philosophy of that law, but definitely holds muster physically and scientifically. And philosophically, the Big Bang theory as well. I'd hate to talk about the philosophy of that and if it could philosophically hold muster as an idea, but definitely, in my view anyway, it lacks in many respects scientifically and physically. I'll move on now to your next video, and yeah, I'm really enjoying good points and stuff you're bringing up. It's good to have a nice, reasonable discussion with someone, even if it is through a weird medium like YouTube.